Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and it is time for our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 386. I have got so much to tell you and so much to go over with you that we really are going to jump on in. I've got new product from Ellison, from Sizzix. I have got exclusive product from Hero Arts. I have got product from a company that I found in Germany years ago that I am so glad they're back with us. Not that we wanted them to go away or they wanted to go away. They just took a little bit of a break, but now they are back and they are fabulous. But before I get started with all of that, I have Winter Chicken Dinner to talk about, and my back is still bad, so I still can't do my Winter Chicken Dinner dance. And I have a little story to tell you. It's about one of the products that I have for you today. Just a little bit of a story. So if you're watching this during the premiere, which is Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Sunny, California time, you can be live chatting with us, but you can't be fast forwarding. And if you're watching this after the premiere, you can't be live chatting with us, but you can be fast forwarding. So if you don't want to hear me talk and you don't want to hear my story, I get it. I'm okay with that. Maybe you just want the crafty class. Okay. Fast forward right on through, and you can, when I start to tilt down, you'll know we're getting to the class. Otherwise, I tend to share my life with all of you. This tends to be crafting and vlogging at the same time, and I had a teachable moment this week. And I thought I would share with you my teachable moment. So I'm gonna read my Winter Chicken Dinners. I do have to give a shout out super fast to Victorious Victor from Sizzix, Sarah, and Angie, who also works on the Team SMS over at Sizzix, and of course, Mr. Big Shot. I had sent over an email with an order in it, and just because I was in a mood, I typed a little extra note to the bottom saying, and I would also like Jolly Rancher, along with this order, please send Jolly Rancher candies, no green ones, Mr. SMS will throw them away, and I would like cotton candies scented pencils. Just being ha ha ha. Well, what showed up at my desk? Hello, Jolly Ranchers. No green ones. This is the awesome red. So you get cherry, strawberry, watermelon, and fruit punch. No green ones because Mr. SMS does not do the sour apple. And the next day I received pencils. So what do they call them? Smensels. They're scented pencils. And one of them is cotton candy. One of them's Tutti Frutti. One of them's bubble gum. One of them is, gosh, I don't have my glasses on. Tutti Frutti, bubble gum, jelly bean, and sour apple. That one's not for Mr. SMS. He doesn't do the sour apple. So a shout out for the Sizzix team that is Team SMS over there. You made me laugh. You made my day. It just warmed my heart. And it turns out somebody actually does read all the way to the bottom of my emails. Who knew? Okay, so Winter Chicken Dinner really quick, and then I'm going to tell you my story, and then we're going to start crafting for today. Our first winner is Carmen. Carmen, I can't pronounce this last name, even if I... Radats? Radats? Oh, Carmen, just be happy you're a Winter Chicken Dinner and don't be upset with me. I try, but I am dyslexic. Carmen, if that's your name, you are a Winter Chicken Dinner, but you're not alone. We always do too. Esther Hensley, is that you? Esther, you are also a Winter Chicken Dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. And with any luck, I have already put your $25 gift certificates in your online account for the both of you. Spend them on anything that makes your heart happy. Now, if you want a chance to be a Winter Chicken Dinner and you are watching this during the premiere Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Sunny, California time, again, we could be live chatting over here, but you can't leave the comment underneath the YouTube until the premiere is over. Or if you're watching it after the premiere, just leave your comment down there, but you can't be live chatting with us. So if you're live chatting, don't forget to come back and leave your comment for a chance to be a Winter Chicken Dinner. We always pick 2 of you. Now, my story. Okay, and it has to do with the Sizzix product that I have for you today. I'm going to tell you my story first, and then I will relate it back. So you're like, why is she telling us all of this? Because I overshare, and that's who I am, and I'm never going to change. And it was a teachable moment for me. So I'm thinking if it's a teachable moment for me, maybe it's a teachable moment for somebody out there. When I was little, I lived on 4 Oak Street here in Canyon Country, California, and 4 Oak Street is literally 5 minutes away from my store. That's the street I was brought home to. And my friend, all the way down at the end of the street, her name was Kimberly. And I won't give her last name because I don't know where she's at or anything like that, but Kimberly was pretty and delicate, and she was a girly girl, and I was not. I was homely and a little bit of a tomboy, and we kind of played with each other as kids out of default because there really wasn't a lot of other girls on my street. And every now and then, families would move in and move out, and when that would happen and another girl would come along, Kim and I would kind of separate, and we'd play with, like, Susie and Kathleen moved in across the street from me, and I spent most of my time with them, and I stopped not really playing so much with Kimberly, but another girl moved in, and her name was Lisa, and Kim and Lisa became good friends. And mind you, I'm talking, I was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, I was little when all this was going on. So I was having a birthday, and I invited everybody, because that's what the rule was. I invited everybody to the birthday party. I invited Kim and Lisa and Kathleen and Susie and Michelle and Tracy and all the girls, all the kids to my birthday party, because that was the rule. And honestly, I liked them. They're my friends, right? And one day I went out to play, and I went down to Kim's house, and I knocked on the door, and her mom answered the door, and I said, "Is Kim here?" And she said, "No, she's at Lisa's birthday party." Lisa's birthday party, and again, I couldn't have been much more than 8 or 9 years old. What do you mean Lisa's birthday party? Well, Lisa was having her birthday party, and I wasn't invited. I was devastated. I was so hurt. I remember running home in tears to my mom, crying, sobbing, why wasn't I invited to the birthday party? And I was mad. I had my little 8-year-old tantrum going on. I was mad, and well, then they can't come to my birthday party. And my mom said, "Really? Really? That's one way of handling it." I'm sure she didn't quite say it that way, but sure, that's one way we can do that. But why did you invite them to your party in the first place, Stacy? Don't you play with them? Aren't they your friends? Don't you go over to their house? Yes. Well, then you need to think about why you really invited them, and if it means that much to you, if you're that hurt and you want to not invite them and disinvite them, you can. But I really want you to think about why you would do that when, if you didn't know that you weren't invited to Lisa's birthday party, you would have been just as happy having them at yours. My mom, honest to gosh, man. So I thought about it, and I decided that the right thing to do was to keep them invited to my birthday party, because my mom was right. Had I not gone to Kim's house that day, had I not knocked on her door and her mom told me that she was at Lisa's birthday party, I would have never known, and I still would have wanted them at my party. What does that all relate back to? Well, one of the products I have for you today is from Sizzix, and it is brand new. And I saw it back in, I think it maybe was even December that I saw it. And I was one of the first to see it. And the minute I saw it, I said, "Oh, that's for me." Not because the product is something new to the market, but because the product is priced so well that it is going to allow people who were never able to afford this before to buy it now, or people who were on the fence about it before and didn't want to spend the $8 or $9 for it. Now, too good to pass up. And I'm like, hello, sign me up. Right here, hello. Now, Ellison Sizzix, Mr. Big Shot, and Victorious Victor, and Sizzix Sarah, wanting to do the best for me, knowing that Scrapbooking Made Simple is a small mom and pop online business, and that I am up against big online businesses, big online companies. They wanted to find a way to make it special for me, as does all the manufacturers we're dealing with. I mean, Hero Arts did an exclusive just for me today and packaged it differently for me so I can bring it to you, so we can be a little different than everybody else that's out there, those big companies. So they offered it to me as an exclusive, and that I would be the first one to show it, and that you wouldn't be able to, it would be exclusive to me. Nobody else would be able to get it for a period of time, which makes my heart happy, because that makes us a little different than everybody else. That, you know, that makes us a little special sometimes, and who doesn't want to feel special? Well, yesterday I got a phone call, and I was told that what we had agreed to, what I thought I was going to be able to get, I wasn't going to be able to get, and that they weren't going to make it an exclusive just for me, and that they are going to be releasing it as early as March 1st, which is just, I think, 2 days away from the time you're seeing this. And I was devastated. I was hurt, because I thought that, you know, I planned this YouTube around the product, and I was so excited, and there was a lot of conversation, and I wasn't angry. I was hurt, because they took away what I thought we had. They took away what I thought we had agreed upon. Now, what you might not know is that Ellison's home office has moved from the United States over to the United Kingdom. So if you go to their website or their YouTube page, you may find that there's a lot of Brits on their YouTube page, and that's because their home office is now over in the United Kingdom. The people who changed their minds weren't my people, my Mr. Big Shot David and Victorious Victor and Sizzix Sarah. It was home office over in the United Kingdom, and they absolutely had the right to change their mind on what we had agreed upon. Of course they do. It's their product, it's their company. Now, I used to, when the home office was here in California, I was on a first name basis with the CEO here in California, and honestly, I've never talked to or ever met the CEO who's over in the United Kingdom, even though I've been there. I have no idea who they are, and I'm not sure who's making the decisions, but I understand their decision. It just kind of hurt. So, gut reaction, well, then I'm just not going to show the product. I'm just going to pull it from the YouTube. Am I going to pull it from the YouTube? What was the real intent for me wanting to use this product and show you this product today? Was it because they were going to give it to me as an exclusive? No. I wanted it when I saw it, and I wanted it because it's at a price point that makes it affordable for all of you. So, it took me right back to my mom. Are you really not going to have them at your birthday party? Really? Because they're your friends, Stacy, and, you know, you weren't invited to Lisa's birthday party. I understand that that hurt you, but that doesn't mean that you then hurt in retaliation. And I wanted this product when I saw it, and I want it now, and it's really good product at a really good price. So I needed to take that moment and have that teachable moment that I had all those years ago about, am I going to throw my foot down and stomp and cry because something didn't go my way? What was the real motivation for me wanting to have this product in a YouTube? Not because I was going to get it first or be the only one to have it. It was because I could bring it to you at a price that was so wonderful that you could have it. So I had a teachable moment yesterday, and I had to take a deep breath. I wasn't mad at them. I was hurt. And once I got past that hurt and looked deep inside to see why, what was my motivation for having this, and realized, well, it's really about you. It's about me and you, and not about the UK and the home office. That it was clear. Well, of course I'm going to use it in the YouTube. Whether you can get it everywhere around the world or only at Scrapbooking Made Simple. I will let you know it will be available at Sizzix.com. I don't know if they're going to match the price we're doing it for, but you will be able to get it there if you so choose to. And I am perfectly fine with you shopping wherever it is that makes you comfortable, as long as I know that I did the right thing. And having my mom over my shoulder, now remember, it really did take me back to missing that birthday party and how hurt I was, but how to react to that hurt and what was the right thing to do. Now, when it was my birthday party, did we have a great time? I'm sure we did. Did I forget all about the fact that I didn't go to Lisa's birthday party? I am sure I did. And ultimately, did we all play together, Barbies and whatever else? I'm sure I did. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do the right thing, and not because for any other reason than I wanted it before I even knew that I was going to have an exclusive on it, and I still want it, and I think you're going to want it. So that was my teachable moment yesterday, because there was talk about, well, if you not putting it in the YouTube at all. They said, well, you don't have to show it at all. You can take it out of the YouTube if you want. And in my hurt, I'm like, well, maybe I just will. No. All right. I'm going to tilt down. We're going to get started for today. Thank you for indulging me. And hopefully if you've had a moment where you've been hurt, take a moment and feel that hurt, but then step back and think about what really is the right thing to do. What is it that how do you respond that you'll still be able to look yourself in the mirror and be okay with it? Yes, it's easy to just get mad and get even and take vengeance. But is that really who you are? I don't think so. Okay, I think we are all better than that. Okay, that's it for me today. I'm going to tilt down. We're going to get started. Bye. Like, really? 20 minutes in and now we're finally starting? Well, that's a YouTube with me. You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. That's also my mother. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I want to show you a couple samples of what we've got going on. Is that not just beautiful? This is paper by Reprint. It is a kit. So there's this one. I'm going to put that one back. And another. Look at how lovely it is. Right? Look at the just because. Look at the edge. That's the Sizzix product. Look at the just because. That's the Sizzix product. And here we have a get well soon. Again, beautiful, right? I told you pretty, and I love pretty. Pretty makes my heart happy. So let me put those aside, and we're going to start. I'm going to show you a little bit of the reprint paper packs, and then we're going to play. In fact, I'm going to zoom back just a little bit, and then we're going to play with the Sizzix product because they're meant to go, I have them to go together. This is the reprint paper pad, and it is an A4 pad. In fact, maybe even just a little bit further back, and then I'll zoom back in later. You have several sheets in here. They've got tags. Look at the beautiful tags. Every combination is different. Every kit is different. 2 sheets of tags. I mean, they're beautiful. You will have to cut them out. And then double-sided paper. And it all coordinates. It's all meant to blend and to go. So that if you are scrapbooking or card making or mixed media or altered art, junk journaling, these are for you. This is a beautiful collection. This one is called Vintage Garden. Then we have In the Garden. In the Garden. And again, beautiful double-sided paper. Look at it, isn't that gorgeous? Wait till you see, well, the samples were done with this. Look at the soft and subtle colors. And being that everything coordinates, you don't have to think too hard about it. And yes, you absolutely can use this for your layouts without question. Look at the beautiful, beautiful, well, these are not tags, but the card toppers that you can use these for. You get 2 sheets of those, and then 2 sheets of additional styles. All the packs are built that way. They are all meant to mix and match and kind of coordinate because they're all soft and a little bit vintagey. But then you've got things like, oh, this one, patisserie? Yes, patisserie. Where you've got the ice cream cones on the paper, so cute, double-sided, so you can, all the colors match, all the colors coordinate. Look at the card toppers. Now you don't have to use them on cards, you can just use these as embellishments on your layouts. Wouldn't those be cute actually on top of cupcakes? So every collection's a little different. They all have that kind of shabby feel to them, and it's all by Reprint. And they are a fabulous company out of Sweden. Really love them. I have 9 new collections, and I think I'm going to play with probably the Vintage Garden and the In the Garden. I think that those are the 2 that I may play with today. So I've got all of this paper and all of these beautiful things to do with. And gosh, you can make cards so fast and so easy with these. You can make layouts so fast and so easy with these. You just have to decide what it is you want it to look like. You can certainly take your paper, trim it down. All you have to do is literally turn it over. And you've made a mat. In no time at all. So now I've got my paper, I've got my mat, and again, I'm just using the 1 sheet, and then I can cut out my beautiful topper. And you can decide whether you want to cut it right on the line, if you want to leave a little bit of a border around it. Entirely up to you. I left a little bit of a border around it. Mount it on my card base, put a sentiment inside, and you're done. You could add a little ribbon if you wanted to. I mean, tons of things to be done. And again, all I used was 1 sheet of paper and just a piece of the 1 sheet of paper to get that done. So, my gosh, 30, 40 cards easy. Easy. You could do 30, 40 cards out of 1 pack of the Reprint A4 kits without question. If you're really conscious about what you're doing, you might be able to get 50 cards out of it without much, too much effort. But done. Back it against your card base, mat it, and poof, you're off. But we wanted to make these a little bit more special. And that's where the Sizzix product comes in. So I'm going to scooch on over to that. I'm going to leave this here so I have it. And put this right there so I have it. And I want to bring over the Sizzix product. And this is what I thought I was going to have, but then I'm not going to have, but then you can get it anywhere pretty much, but but there's no reason to disinvite them to the birthday party because of it. What is it? Product you've seen before. It's not new to the market. It is foiling flakes. So these are pieces of foil. Do not have your fan going when you use these. They call them metallic flakes. They only have 3 colors. Now you may have already seen these from US Art Quest carries them. Creative Expressions carries them. We carry the Creative Expressions, and Creative Expressions has lots of blends and lots of colors. Sizzix only has 3. They have the gold, they have the silver, and they have what they're calling rose gold. I don't think so. It's copper. Love you all at Sizzix, but it's copper. So they only have the 3. And you're saying, well, okay, so what's so awesome about it that you had to have them? Well, price-wise, comparatively, these will sell from other manufacturers upwards of $8 to $9 a bottle. $8 or $9 a jar, per jar, on average. Sizzix is bringing them out at $2.99 each. And then I get to give a 20% discount on top of that. So you're paying less, I think it's right around $7 for all 3, as opposed to $8 or $9 for 1. So if you've never really you've maybe wanted to try the flakes, but boy, that's kind of a pricey thing, or you were interested but not for that price. Okay, folks, now's the time. I want to say it's about $7. So if it's $3 each, that's $9 less 20%. That would be $1.80, which would make it $7.20. Does that sound right? So about $7. So about $7.20. So for less than the price of 1, unless I did it for even more than that, I don't even remember. But less than the price of 1, you get all 3. Now you may say, well, I already have some of these flakes. I'm going to tell you, at this price, you want to stock up. If your friend, you want to get them for your friend for Christmas, there's no reason that they need to know that you only paid $7 to get all 3 of them. But what a great Christmas gift. Honestly, the jars are full. They're beautifully made. I like that they have this little top on them. Not all of them, not all manufacturers do. I do like that. And they last and last and last. I will tell you, the lids, when we ship them to you, chances are the lids are going to come indented. It does not take much to dent these lids, and there is no way I'm going to be able to ensure that they don't come dented. I mean, they really do dent. This is my fingernail making that dent. They really do dent very easily. But again, when you're getting 3 for that price for $7, holy smokes, artichokes. Now, what do you do with these? Well, there's lots of things to be done with these. I'm going to just show you a few things, and then we'll play with some of the paper. But I'm going to start out really, really simple and assume that you don't die cut and you don't stamp. So let's start with talking about just Stacy tape. So double-sided adhesive tape. You know what, I'm going to cut myself a piece. Oh, something's here. Oh, maybe that's the postman. All right, so double-sided tape. Does it have to be my double-sided tape, my Stacy tape? No. I can tell you that Sukwing tape is very good, or Elizabeth Crafts tape is very good. I can't tell you that everything at the Dollar Tree is very good. There is definitely a difference between different double-sided tapes. There's no question about it. Stick with a brand that you are comfortable with, that you know has a good hold and is not going to yellow over time. It's important. So I've got gosh, maybe that's a piece of 1/2 inch, and then a piece of 1 inch, and then a piece of 2.5 inch. There we go. So I've got my tape down. I'm just going to cut off the extra because it's me. You guys would probably be more accurate in your measurement. Now the tape, you don't actually have to cut it if you don't want to. As you saw, I was tearing it earlier, so you can tear the tape, but to keep a nice straight edge, that's when you want to cut it, is if when you want to keep a nice straight edge. Okay, so I've got 3 widths, and I've got 3 different colors of their flakes. Let's start with just the easiest one, gold. Open it up. Take it out. Don't have your ceiling fan going. This stuff floats everywhere. I've got a pair of tweezers here, and I have exposed my first line. Put it right over the top. And now what you put it down with is really up to you. If you've got an old stencil brush, that will work. If you've got, I wanted to use something that I think many of you probably have or can get. This is just a foam brush, and maybe you have the foam brushes that are not so much a spouncer, but look more like a paintbrush. Those are going to work too. I wanted you to be able to use something that is readily available at your local hardware store. You could take a sponge. Maybe you have a sponge for your kitchen sink that is, you know, all you have to do is try. You want to make sure that it's new, you haven't gotten it wet. You want just an inexpensive sponge. Cut it up into a square, and you can use that. And all you do is just go right over the top. You don't have to glue because the tape is acting as your adhesive. And just like that, I've added my gold. Done. Easy, right? Oh, see, I talked too much. I said right, and it blew away. Now let's get my silver. The only way you know it's Sizzix is by the name right there. The packaging itself, well, I understand they had to get a lot of things on the packaging, but gosh, it would have been nice to have a little label right here that said Sizzix too. Just a thought. Let's get my silver. And this time I'm going to expose my next size up. And I'm going to change my brush because this has got little gold flakes in it. So I'm going to grab another brush. And again, inexpensive. I want you to be able to do this affordably at home, especially if you're a new crafter. Okay, so let's grab a couple of the flakes. And they're more like sheets, like torn sheets. Can I pick them up with my fingers if I wanted to? I can. And put it down? Absolutely. Okay, I think I've got a nice little amount there. Just kind of haphazardly put on. It's sticking because of the adhesive. And now take my brush. Some of you are going, oh, that sound is horrible. All right, well, let me take a few more flakes and put them in the areas I didn't get. Kind of pounce them down. And then move them around. All right, and see, very little mess. Very, very little left over, very little mess. All right, there's my silver. I've got my gold and my silver. Now I'll put my little lid back on. And let's get out my rose gold. Really, it's copper. I understand rose gold is all the trend, but it's sort of that's a stretch, people. the stretch. Now, some of you have never seen flakes like this before, and you can see how little I'm using and how they would really last you quite some time. Oh, see, that's a nice big piece, and I can just kind of spread that all around. I want to get it kind of a little bit everywhere. I can always add more. So I'm going to start with this and kind of move it around, and then take all the extra and put that into the places that still have the adhesive showing. Very, very little waste. In fact, so much that is so little of waste that I'm not even going to bother to try and collect it. Let's just pick it up. And there we have, I suppose, maybe rose gold. It's a little bit lighter when in the jar versus on here. So, all right, maybe a rose gold. I still would probably call it copper, but that's me. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Ooh, put my little lid back on and kind of bounce that in to any place that didn't have enough. And you can tell where it doesn't have enough because you'll be able to feel it, and it still feels a little sticky. Okay, so there's my waste. I'm not even going to bother trying to put that into a jar. I'm not. I'm just going to pick it up. I've got my glitter cleanup cloth right here, and I'm just going to pick it up. But this gives you the idea of the colors that we have. And they're pretty standard. Like I said, you may already have them, but I don't know that you have them for $2.99 a jar less 20%. So that's $3.60, so $2.40, right? Did I do that fast enough? $2.40? And $2.40 times 3 would be, I think, $7.20. I think I'm right. I hope I'm right. Pretty, right? So then how do we use these when we're working with things like the paper? What's the point of it? Well, you have an opportunity to take and make pretty little edges. Simple to be done. And let's take my Stacy tape, and I think I'm gonna do maybe I'll do this one. And I just take my inexpensive Stacy tape, make sure it's long enough, and put it right on the edge. Right on the edge of my paper. Then I'm going to take the next one, and I'm going to butt it right up. So I may want to give it a cut just so it has a nice clean edge. I'm just going to butt it kind of right up against my first, and then lay it down. And I'm just going to keep going until I go all the way around. My entire piece. And last but not least. And this one, because I didn't get a real clean edge up there, I might take this one and just kind of overlap it just a little bit. Right there. And I might just overlap it just a little bit, just because I didn't get a good clean edge at the top. Now I cut the edges, all the extra off the back. zoop, and zoop, and all the extra right off the back. And now this is good to go anytime I want. I don't have to do anything with it right this minute if I don't want to. I could do a whole bunch of these and just have them ready to go for whenever I'm ready to go. But I am going to go ahead and peel. And hopefully I got close enough. So I'm going to go ahead and peel. And peel. And peel, and this one's going to go underneath just a little bit. So I'm just going to lift that up and press it back down and peel, exposing all my sticky. Exposing all my sticky. And then I can decide what color I want. I think we'll go with the gold. And I can bring that over. And lay it right down on top. And just put some pieces here and there to get started. I can always go back in and fill in after I've used my little sponge any place that I don't have, because you'll be able to feel it and see it. If it's missing some foil, you'll know. And you can see it just goes a really long way. You think that's enough to start? Let's try. Now, see, I know I'm going to need more down there. Oh yeah, definitely more. So let's grab some more. Ooh, that's a lot. Put some of it back. And just kind of lay it in place where you see there's holes. And again, easy peasy. Any big piece I can put back away. As for the rest of it, I put a nice little edge. Clean lines because it's tape. Let me clean up my little, well, you know what? Maybe I won't clean up my mess. So now I can put that right in the center. And put that right here. And I've added just a little, look at how pretty is that? And so simple. Simple, simple, simple. But what if I wanted to do a little bit more to it? That's when the Essentials glue pad comes handy. Clean up my mess. The Essentials glue pad is a liquid glue that is a two-way glue. So it holds, if you can use it like a regular glue, but if you let it go tacky, it holds things in place and allows you to foil and glitter over the top of it. This is a fabulous item, and if this isn't in your arsenal and you are a stamper and you like glitter, well, you need to have this. Today we're going to be using it with the foils. Now it comes sold just like this, and when you open it, there's a little top to it that you don't want to lose, and the pad is dry. There's nothing on the pad. This is not a re-inker. For those of you who have been around long enough, you know this is not a re-inker. The glue that's in here, you just add to your pad enough to do the job you're working on. So I just put a little zigzag I don't want to empty this entire bottle and then come back 2 months later and think that I'm going to be able to use it. That glue is not a re-inker. You just use what you need for the time you're working on it. So now I've got some glue on my pad. I could come here and just kind of edge. You know how we use chalk, well, ink, to kind of edge? What if I used my glue? Now the thing about this glue is you've got to let it go tacky. So you need to set it aside for anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes to a half an hour. You could go and, gosh, you could go and answer a phone call. You could empty, well, you could clean your refrigerator, and then can you come clean my refrigerator? But you need this to get tacky. If I were to put my foil on it right now, when the glue dries, the foil will flake off. If I were to put another piece of paper on top of it right now, it would act as a normal glue. But I need to let it go tacky so it holds that foil without it flaking off. And I'm just going to waft it. You do this, and because I'm doing such a small space, it'll go pretty fast. I'm going to grab my gold flakes again, and I'm just going to put some in the middle. Just put some in the middle. Cover it up so I don't blow it all away. Grab my little spouncer and just kind of go around. And anywhere I hit with the glue, the flakes are going to stay. Let's grab a little bit more. I have done this with glitter. You absolutely can do this with glitter. The trick is letting that glue go a little bit tacky. It's called a two-way glue. That's because it glues either straight to itself, where you can glue two things to each other, or if you let it go tacky, it almost acts like a, I don't know, it's a temporary adhesive, or it stays tacky until you put something on it. So now I've given kind of a distressed edge to my, gosh, I didn't get any up there, and I missed down here a little bit. Can I go back in? Sure. I probably still have plenty of glue on there. And just go back in and add a little glue up there and add a little glue there. Maybe you like it like that. Maybe you like it a little more distressed. Give it a second to dry. Kind of give it a waft. Because I'm using such a small area, it won't take very long. But you can walk away easily for 20-30 minutes and come back and it will still work. Put a little down, a little up here. Kind of grab some from my craft mat. All right, I think that's good. Just to make sure I've got it done. All right. So now I've taken and elevated. I've elevated what I'm working on. I've taken that paper, which is all meant to coordinate together, making it easy peasy for you. But I've added a little something something without it being too hard. I haven't stamped, I haven't die cut, I barely even used scissors. Ooh. And get it up. And then I can tape it down and I could mat it again. I mean, it's really up to you what you want to do, but gosh, it's so pretty and so easy to do and just adds a beautiful extra element to it. Now, if you are working with the paper, let's grab some other sheets of the paper. Let's see. That's pretty. Ooh, that's very pretty. Sure, let's do I want to do that one? Ooh, see see that's the ones that have the fronts also have background to it, and I don't want to not use my fronts. I think I'm going to use this piece. If I wanted to, I could also start straight on my paper. I could take my tape and make my rectangle straight on my paper. And I'm not going to worry whether my lines, I bet I just got a piece underneath that. I'm not going to worry about cutting my lines at all. I'm just going to get this on there. And call it done. And then I can peel my lines off. I did get a piece of gold underneath there. Up. And off. And off. Oh. Okay, well, we're going to straighten that one out. And off. So if you don't want to pre-cut your paper, you don't have to. Now I can just come in here with my foil, put it down, give me a hunk in the middle. Ooh. Well, that's a hunk. Grab my silver spouncer. No, that's not silver. Oh, I have 2 golds now. All right, well, we're going to make one of them a silver. I might get a little gold in here, but, and kind of come over. And start to put it down. Because then you're able to trim it out to what you want it to be. Let's say you're not comfortable trying to line up that edge just perfectly, like I did on this one. Let's say you're not comfortable trying to line that edge up. Well, then don't try. Wow, that's a big hunk. Put your tape on your paper first. I think I'm going to push this down. Come through, add your foil. Clean up my mess. Ooh, somebody's got bad breaks out there. And then it's up to me. I could just take my trimmer and trim down. Maybe you only have wide. Maybe you want it really narrow. But your width of your tape is wider than the width you want on your border. Now I've cut it down to what I want it to be. Folded that one over. Oh well, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I can just trim this down to the size I want. Now I know you'd all use a trimmer, I get it. But just because your tape is wider than what you want doesn't mean that you can't trim down to get the desired look. Oh, my butterfly's going in the right direction. Now I've got a really narrow border. My tape was this wide. That's the only double-sided tape I have. Okay, just trim it down. Do it on the sheet of paper to start with, and then cut down to the size of the border that you want. You have options. You can do this. Easy peasy. But that's not the only thing you can do. Now let's just take this and cut this out. And I'm going to make that one kind of big. So let's take this and let's trim it from there. So I have left myself a lot of room to play. I've left myself a lot of room to play. And then maybe I bring back over. Gosh, I don't know, which one do you like? So I have that. Or I have these, the roses or the butterflies. Do I go with that one in the middle? And I can trim it on out and leave myself a border, or cut it directly on the brown line. I'm going to leave myself a little bit of a border. And in 2 shakes of a stick, but maybe I want to use some of this. Can you get how everything layers together and matches and mixes and works all beautifully? Reprint designs their own paper and prints their paper right there in Sweden. And they do a beautiful job. So I'm going to take that one down just a little bit. If you saw me, my tongue was sticking out to the right as I was focusing on cutting. Look at how pretty it is. And then again, I could just come in here. And maybe I just want it on the edges, on the corners. Maybe I just want a little silver on my corners. So I've edged my corners just like we do with Tim Holtz Distress inks. I think that, or with chalk inks, how we learned how to edge those corners. Can you see that it's a little wet? Can you see there? And if I let it dry, give it a good waft. Because I haven't used too much glue, it doesn't take nearly as long, but I could leave it if I wanted to. Come back in, grab my silver. So these are the easy techniques to do with it. After I do this, I'm going to move on to something maybe a little bit more difficult. But I want you to see that with some paper, some scissors, some glue, and some of these flakes, you can take what you think is just basic and really make it into something fabulous. Let's grab some Stacy tape and put it together. So just a quick piece of Stacy tape on the back to mat. And a quick piece of Stacy tape to the back to mat. And a quick piece of Stacy tape to the back. So if you need quick and easy, or if you want to try and you've never tried before, these are great kits for you since everything coordinates. Try making a couple simple cards and maybe add just a little bit of bling or a little bit of flowers or some ribbon. And then it's up to me. Do I want to trim this down and have my mat less? I can. I have options. But so elegant and so beautiful. But we need to move on. Okay, so we played with some of the foil, these flakes, just as they were meant to do. Easy peasy. You can use the glue to edge. You can use the tape to add your borders to them. You can make stripes. Just anything you can think of with the tape. But what if you say to me, Stacy, I am not crazy about gold, silver, or rose gold. None of these are making my heart happy. I'm not that kind of person. This is not my kind of crafting. I do not care for those colors. They're too bright. It's just not me. Wait, okay? Let's try. So I am going to take a piece of black paper. Well, and you can use any paper for this. In fact, maybe I pull up a piece of, okay, so this is my leftover. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know. So I'm gonna use it this time, just to show you that you can. And I'm gonna pull a piece of my Stacy tape. Put it right down over the top. Right down over the top. Cut off my edges. So nobody's ever going to see this because it's going to get hidden. And let's keep with the silver for now. Yeah, let's keep with the silver for now. So I'm going to pull off my border and I'm going to put my flakes down over this whole thing. So let's start with my silver. And I'm just going to take, that is a big hunk, but that's okay. I'm just going to take it and kind of spread it all over. Can I mix my gold, silver, and rose gold? Sure I can. You can make your own blend. Get a fourth little container and add a little bit of each and make a mix. Okay, I'm going to start with that and let's see how far it gets me. Gonna use my silver one. And I'm just going to burnish it right on in. I can turn it over, kind of grab all my leftovers, and then stick this right on top of them, and anywhere it wasn't sticky or the sticky still was, it'll stick to it, and give another burnish. Good. And there we go. Okay, you're like, but I saw this already. I know, give me a moment. I'm getting there. Let me clean up my mess. Anybody see what I did with my glitter cleanup cloth? Hello, thank you. Just clean it up. This is like a cheesecloth for embossing powders and flakes and glitter. It's by, this one I think is by Scrapbook, and it comes huge and we just cut it down, but it's nice. It keeps your area all nice and clean. Okay. Now what did I do with my little piece? Oh man. It was right here. Did you see the piece I was working on? Oh, found it. That's how you know it's not edited. Okay. So now you're like, yeah, but I don't care for the silver. Silver's not me. That's fine. Let's change it. Because they're a metallic flake, it is a non-porous type of product. This is not like paper where ink is going to sink right into it. No, no, no. This is a little more non-porous. So I can't really use a dye-based ink because it's not going to show well on top and it's not going to dry well. I need to use a permanent type of ink. So remember our permanent type ink that is like a Sharpie marker or a Bic marker? We tend to use StazOn. StazOn is a permanent ink, which means you could put it on glass, metal, plastic, anything that's non-porous. Can you stamp with it or use it just on regular paper? Sure, absolutely. But the whole point of this is to be on non-porous products, which I have now made a strip of non-porous. Ooh, I'm gonna have to be careful. Maybe I'll trim this out. Oh, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. So, you just never know. So I'm going to take my StazOn ink. So if you've got archival ink, I believe archival ink is similar. And I think I might use my green. So I'm using Gothic Purple and Cactus Green. And yeah, I think I'm going to trim it out. So I'm just going to put some of this on here. And then I'm going to grab my little green foamy sponge and I'm going to blend it on in. Just kind of move it around on top. And then I'm going to come back in with my purple. So that's what I've got so far. I'm going to come back in with my purple. I'm going to add some purple in here. And change over to my purple blendy and kind of blend that on in. Come back with a little bit of green over the top of that. I should have had two blendies. Blend that in. Ooh, maybe some more green up here. And then let's go back in with my purple. I'm going to change my blendy first, just so I'm ready for my purple. Whoops. There's no right, there's no wrong. You're just adding the color and using your little blendy tool to move it around while it's still a little wet. Because when it dries, it's going to dry permanently. Ooh, I'm digging on that. Okay, I like this. I think I might be done. Of course, as I add a little bit more purple to the bottom. And maybe a little bit more green right there. So now I'm changing the color from my silver. Ooh. Okay, let me cut it out. because I've got ink all over my sides. Let me just trim it on out for you. Which is why you can use any yucky paper you have. Do you have old sheets of paper from a kit that you just are never going to use? Or do you have old sheets of paper from a paper pad that you just are never going to use? Oh, this is a good way of using them. Oh, this is so pretty. So what if I were to... Okay, can you see what I did? It's still silver, but look at the color on there. It's still, you still have the metallic underneath, but look at the color I added to it. Let's just trim this out really narrow to my black. It doesn't have to stay the color it is if you've got permanent ink. And why do you want all three colors? Even if you don't like the gold, the silver, and the rose gold, because each color has a different base tone to it. Silvers are gonna look better with the blues and the purples, oh my gosh, and that vibrant green. Now what if I put, let's just get my Stacy tape and let's put this down on that. So let's just mat this down really quick. You would do a better job than I am. I'm just doing this to show you. Wow, is that pretty? Maybe a little too close on my mat, but that's okay. Let's try and get it a little better. That a little better? That's a little better. All right, I'm happier with that. And then let's go ahead and cut here. And we'll cut my white off. I don't know that we're going to keep it this wide, but wouldn't that be pretty to mat a picture against? Look at the color against that paper. So lovely. And then if I took, ooh, how about we do this one right here? And again, I'm gonna leave just a little bit of a border around the outside of mine because that's how I like it. It almost looks like it matted itself. Okay, so I've got those over there. I took this and I put it there. Let's put this down. And I made my Stacy tape too long. You can choose to just rip it all, tear it and use that piece for something else. Or because it's double-sided adhesive, you literally can just fold it right back into itself and be done. So let me mat this. Actually, this is the nicer side. Let me mat this to that. And this needs just a little bit of a mat. Oh, talk about perfect. Hello. Can't ask for much better there, can you? Almost like I planned it that way, but not. Just a little off the top. That there. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. But you've elevated it by using one strip of tape and some foil flakes and some stays on ink that you may already have. And if not, then you probably ordered it a couple weeks ago and it'll be to you soon. So all orders placed in 2021, we are doing our best to get them out in their normal standard shipping time frame, and the orders from 2020 are catching up. Please know that Black Friday weekend was a really big week for us, and Michael Park Jr., my son, is the only one filling those orders. He's going as fast as he can. Oh my gosh, is that so pretty. I might even pop that, but right now I'm not going to. We're just going to get it down. So what really did I use? No die cutting, no stamping. And you can make a card. I know some of you like larger cards, some of you like them a little smaller, A2. You absolutely have the opportunity to do 5x7 cards or larger if you want with the A4 paper packs. You absolutely can mix the paper to get yourself a 12x12 layout. That one a little wonky. All right. What do you think? Look at how beautiful that is, and how easy was that? Really, how easy was that? You can do this. This is simple. Let's tape that down, and then let me get another color of foil, and let's do it again with a different color of foil. So this time we used the silver because I was kind of using cooler color paper. But what if all right. Ta-da. Doesn't look silver at all, right? What if I grab, and we'll just take this black piece because it's done. It's right here. And let's take another strip. And put it on the black. That way you can see again that you really don't have to worry about the paper that's underneath it. Use your yucky paper. And maybe I'll use the Vintage Garden Collection. So what colors do I want? Okay, let's give this one a whirl and see what I come up with. I'm gonna cut off my back side. Don't I wish? If I could trim that down a little bit, Okay, so I'm not gonna, I don't know if I'll use my green, I don't know what I'm gonna use, but let's get some gold on this. Do I want gold or do I want the, I don't know, we'll try gold. Or rose gold. No, let's try the rose gold. Be adventurous, be daring. Right now it's only Stacy tape and some black paper. Open my rose gold. Again, in the jar, it looks a little more coppery. I guess when it's blended out, it looks a little more rose goldy. I think that's plenty. And it's kind of blend it on in and move it around. So if I need a little more, open up. And once this aerates, it really has a lot in there. So right now I'm trying to be gentle and not get too much air in here, because sometimes if you take it out, this is the type of product that if you were to dump all this out and then try to fit it back in the tub, it isn't gonna fit. So if you wanna get a bigger Tupperware so that you've got room, then go right ahead, because once you get too much air, once you aerate it, it's the kind of product that expands. And did I mention it's $2.99 and then it's on sale? That's why I had to have this, because we've only ever been able to do it for much more, $7, $8, $9 for a tub of this. Never for that kind of a price, ever. And yes, it's the same type of quantity. You're not getting less, you're just getting it at a better deal. So I knew I had to have it, because I know that there are people out there that you're on a budget. We all are on a budget. I'm on a budget. I feel ya. And it's always nice to be able to afford something that makes your heart happy, especially if beforehand it was out of reach for you. Okay, let's look at that. Woohoo, ka-choo. That looks good. Hardly any waste. Not enough for me to worry about, that is for sure. Look at how pretty is that. Now let's color it. And I think maybe I'll use, I don't know. Do I want to use some of the browns and the reds maybe? I don't know. All we can do is try. Ooh. Instantly, look at how that changes it. It goes from being woo to woo. Okay, I'm kind of digging on that. Do they still say digging? Probably not. My children are gonna watch this and they're like, really, Mom? Okay, so I've got a nice undertow of brown under there that just kind of made it subdued. It just kind of took it down a notch. I'm gonna keep with my same, because I'm gonna be using reds. So let's see if I add a little red to it, what happens. Do you think what do you think? Too much? Is there such a thing? Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. A little bit of red. It changes it totally from being wow to wow. Look at the difference. What do you think? If I add a little green, is it going to ruin it? If I add a little green, is it going to ruin it? I say no. I don't know. I'm nervous. If I add a little green. Did I take it one step too far? You know, sometimes you just go that one step. Maybe that's the wrong green. Sometimes you just take it one step too far. That's some of the lighter green. So it's almost like you're making your own blend of flakes, because by the time you're done, it doesn't look like anything you started with, but you're only using the three, oh, I actually like that darker one. You're only using the three primary colors of it. Oh, I could sit here and do this all day. That would be bad. Yes, I know, that would be bad. Ooh. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. It started like that and ended like that. What a dramatic difference. And all I did was play with inks, and I mixed. I used some brown, I used some cactus green, this is ganache, I used some Emerald City, and I just said, have at it. And boy, did it come out gorgeous. Now, let's see what we can do with that gorgeousness. Let's just trim it out just so I can see what I'm going to want to do with it. So I always put a little extra paper on either side of it because I know I've got that ink going on the outside. So I always leave a little bit of a border for me to be able to put that ink on the out, you know, if it blends off. If you're working on your craft mat, it's just a little hard to have the tape exactly the width when you're inking it. It's always nice to have just a little bit bigger so you've got some place to hold on to. And I don't know which I like. Oh, what's on the back of this one? Oh, well, isn't that soft and sweet? Okay, so I think I'm going to use this one. And instead of, although you could make a slimline card, boy, I've cut it big enough, haven't I? Could make a slimline card. I think I'm going to cut this one down. Maybe there. And there. And there. And maybe I back this. I think that's too blah. Oh, that looks good. Maybe I back it with that. But since all the papers come together, all you have to do is, one, remember to turn them around. Turn them over, because I forget sometimes that they're double-sided. And let's cut there. Let's just tape it on down in place and then I'll finish trimming it out. And remember, it's on black paper. You can't tell it's on black paper, but it's on old yucky, well, it wasn't old yucky black paper, but for you it would be old yucky paper is what you want to use for sure. And then let's go side to side. Let's trim that on down. And then we've got here. And that can go across. And in no time at all, you're adding some pizzazz to something that's just simple. I could triple mat it or double mat. Kind of up to you what you want to do. And then pull. That was the Vintage Garden. Look at how beautiful the tags are. Oh, which tag do I want to use? They're all so pretty, right? Let's take this one. And yes, you do have to fussy cut. You can do it. These are handmade cards. They're not expected to be perfect. That's what Hallmark is for, and that's what $8 a card will get you. These are from your heart. And so if they're not 100% perfect, be forgiving to yourself. Gosh, I don't know where I want it. Well, you get the gist. I almost want to back it too. But you get the gist of how it's going to work. The idea is that you take one color and make it another. I wonder if I have... Because this was on that, and that was on that, and there's on there, and there's on there. I mean, it's just really up to you what you want to do. You have so many wonderful options to play with, and at a really affordable price. The flakes are affordable, the tape is affordable, the glue is affordable. So if you're crafting on a budget and you're like, Stacy, I can't do dies and stamps, it's just not in my, that's okay. You don't have to. Well, okay, I could just keep going. I was going to make another mat and put another mat underneath here, but you get the gist. You have options, and coloring it is so simple. So using the Stacy tape or whatever double-sided adhesive you already have, you have the opportunity to either keep the colors the way they are or completely change them up. And the reason you want all three colors is because you can see this one would not have looked good here. It's not the same hue. I needed the silver to make that happen. But the silver may not look good with something like that because of the color hue of it. You need to work with what the paper's telling you. And this is more warm. Could have used the gold, but I like how the roses have that color, and I was able to achieve that same kind of color in the roses from my rose gold. Make it what you want. If you start with the base colors, it's kind of like having bling rhinestones that are just clear and a Sharpie marker, because then you can make those rhinestones any color you want, anytime you want. Why limit yourself when by just having basic colors, you can expand it to whatever you need it to be? But that's not all that these flakes will do. No, remember we were playing with, gosh, I want to keep some of these pieces just in case I decide to go back and make something with them. Keep them over here just in case I decide to go back and do something. I mean, even as simple as, they're just beautiful. But let's say you want a stamp. Let's say that's something that you're into, that you are a stamper or you want to try stamping. So we've got from Hero Arts. These stamps are not brand new, but they were originally sold with the die. And so they were sold for like $14.99. But I didn't want any die cutting in this YouTube class. I wanted it strictly for people who are beginning or people who want to really get into the flakes. I mean, the colors that we've been able to achieve. Wait till you see some of the samples I have to show you. So, stamping. These are clear stamps, easy to use. They've never been sold this way before. You may have this stamp, but then you'd also have a die to go with it. I wanted to keep the price point down, so I had them just do the stamps for me. And thankfully, see, companies like Hero Arts understand that we are going up against the big guys in the crafting world online, so they do little things like this for me to help us stay competitive and to help you be able to afford your crafting. And by getting rid of the one die, it changed it from $14.99 to $7.99. And that's a big difference. That means you can actually get two for the price of just one if you had the die. Now I'm gonna take my Thinking of You, and I'm gonna peel it off. Clear stamps are easy to use. Hero Arts makes a beautiful clear stamp. They are meant to cling to a block. We've got the Couture Creations, $12.50 buys you the whole set of blocks, and once you buy the blocks, you don't ever have to buy them again. The stamp clings on and then takes off, and then clings on and then takes off. So, and if it doesn't cling and it's falling off, all you have to do is wash your stamp and wash the block. Now this one's brand new, so I probably should maybe stamp off with it, or I'm just gonna take a baby wipe and clean it a little bit, because when it's brand new, it's got a little bit of a film on it from the packaging. And I wanna make sure that that film is off. And then I'm gonna take, and let's get a couple pieces of black. So 1, 2, 3. So I've got 3 different pieces of black. I'm going to take my Essentials glue pad and I'm going to add a little bit more glue to it. Now, we couldn't find my original glue pad, which I still have, and it is dirty. It doesn't look nice and pretty like this at all. It's okay if stuff gets on your glue pad. Not a worry, you get some embossing powder or some glitter on it. It's going to be fine. And when you run out of this glue, you don't ever rebuy the whole thing together. You just buy the refill for the Essentials glue pad. Okay, so I'm gonna put the glue right on my stamp. I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna stamp it down. Ready? 1, 2, 3, ABC. I am working on a gush mat, which is a stamp pad that allows your stamp to sink in and make a good impression with the paper. If you're stamping on a hard surface and you're getting holes in your stamp, it's possible that when you're stamping, the stamp doesn't have anything to sink into to make better contact with the paper. So ABC 1, 2, 3, let's pull up. It's a new stamp. Hopefully it's good. It's not bad. And you can see it. Now I need to let it go tacky. Do you think I still have enough? I surely have enough glue here. So let's just do it one more time. ABC, 1, 2, 3, and up. A little bit lighter, but as long as you can see the glue, you know you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna put that one to the side and I'm gonna wipe this one down. A baby wipe is all you need to clean the stamp. That's it. The glue is water soluble. Baby wipe is all you need. I'm gonna take that off and I'm gonna grab one of the other ones. And how about smile? So not only does it come with the main word, but then it's got all the little sentiments to go with your word smile. And let's put it down. Let's grab another piece of black paper. I'm gonna kind of clean it off because it's a brand new stamp. I think that's good. Grab my glue. I think I probably still have enough glue on here to glue it up. It does not take much. You don't want to empty that whole bottle into your stamp pad. 1, 2, 3, ABC, and up. I can see it. Let's do it again. ABC, 1, 2, 3, and up. I can see my smile. So now I've got thinking of you and I've got smile. And the last one they did for me, I'm gonna put that over there, is congrats. So you've got the whole word congratulations, you've got congrats, you've got happy, and then all the little sentiments to go with it. So let's grab congrats, which is much smaller than the smile and the thinking of you. But they're great sentiments because I picked the ones, I had my choice, I could pick anything I wanted, and I picked ones I thought you could use the most often that are not necessarily happy birthday. I mean, congratulations has happy, and happy graduation, happy birthday, happy beginnings, new beginnings, happy retirement. There is a happy birthday there, but also congrats. And congratulations on your new home, on your engagement, on your marriage, on your retirement. So I thought that those were things that you could use, and at that price point, and it'll be on sale as well, they're kind of a nice little set to have handy. 1, 2, 3, ABC. So I haven't added any more glue. And 1, 2, 3, ABC. It's light, but it's there. Can you see it? So now I'm going to put my little lid back on, close it up, and come back over to thinking of you, which has been sitting here for a little bit because we've been stamping. Put my lid back on my glue. It's been sitting here a little bit, so let's grab a little bit of our rose gold. Maybe we'll do, so let me do my rose gold. So I've got a little bit right on top. This is where we're at. And I'm just gonna kind of bounce it. And anywhere that glue is, anywhere the glue is, the foil is going to hold. This one had a little less glue. How about we do that one in silver? And let's grab my silver spouncer. Might need just a hair bit more, just a tad. I mean, not much of anything. And now I've got it in silver. Let's say I wanted to tone them down. Let's grab a blue. And a blue. Oh, it was still too wet to blue it. It's smeared. I need to let it dry a little bit longer. Drat. Oh, okay, well, let's move to Smile. And let's do Smile in my gold. I needed to let it dry just a little bit longer before I tried to color it. Darn it. Well, now you know. You got to let it sit and dry for a little bit. And let's grab my gold spouncer. So the spouncers I'm using, I have a very limited quantity of. I've had these for years. They've been sitting up here. You certainly can use the ones from the hardware store by you if you've got, or you may already have something similar to it, or a foam paintbrush in your stash. Then don't buy them. The spouncers cost the same as one of the foils. Get the foil. And again, even if you already have some of the foil, this is a good opportunity to pick up 3 for less than the price of what one normally costs. I got my glue in the middle. Smile. And then last but not least, I can do my congrats. And I could probably do this one with my finger. Look at that, just with my finger. Come on. So we added the Hero Arts for you. I probably needed a little bit more glue. Remember, I hadn't re-glued my pad, and that was the last one that I did. Yeah, I probably could have used just a little bit more glue. But by that time, I had already stamped 4 others. They're really, 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 really wonderful. Because you've got a beautiful foiled element, and maybe that's the only thing you want, is that foiled element. The stamp. Maybe you're not looking to color, or maybe you're just looking to have a pretty glitter cleanup cloth. Take care of my mess. Oh, that's good. Maybe that's all you want, is a simple sentiment. Couple mats, couple layers. Right on it, and you're good to go. Or maybe you do want to add elements. It's really entirely up to you. Maybe you want that as your background. Maybe you want that for your mat here. And then mat, and then mat. Lots to be done with foil flakes, and maybe in ways you hadn't necessarily thought of. I know it's easy to get stuck in thinking of something as, okay, well, it's just this color, or okay, it's just this color. And there's nothing wrong with the plain colors. There's a use for them all the time. Like this one. It's beautiful in the silver. It looks beautiful. And this one looks beautiful in the gold. Don't know what I did with the background for, but it looks beautiful in the gold. Absolutely. But then maybe there's some times where you want to take it and you want to change its color to something else. Look at how beautiful they are. And what they add. And because it's tape, you can make these any length you want. 12-inch borders for your layouts. You can die cut all your letters out of them. You could die cut flowers out of them. You can stamp with stays on top of them. You have oodles and oodles and oodles of options. It just depends upon what makes your heart happy. I wish I really knew what I did with the background for this one. I used it somewhere, right? It's driving me crazy. That's just gonna drive me crazy. It's not the right one that it goes with, but it'll do for in a pinch. So funny. Crazy Stacy. Okay, so we talked about just using tape. We talked about using an Essentials glue pad. Not with stamps at all, just roughing up your beautiful edges to add a little distressing. Tape to add borders or stripes. We talked about using tape to get your colors and why you need the 3 different colors, because each one has a different hue. This one was the rose gold. This one was the rose gold. This was rose gold with more blues and greens. This is rose gold with more reds and browns. There's your silver. This is your plain gold. It doesn't look like what it started. It doesn't have to be. We talked about stays on. I'm not going to put the stays on a YouTube Yummy. We just had them on a YouTube Yummy a week or 2 ago. There's 12 colors in the middies, and that's the ones we like, are the middies. So they're the great size, easy to use. The Essentials glue pad will be on a YouTube Yummies. Stacy tape is already at the lowest price I can possibly do. And then we've got, of course, the stamps. So let me just clean up my mess and go through. So first off, we have all of the paper from Reprint. There's 8 different packs. The Easter is fabulous. They're all fabulous. They're all amazing. So there's an I want it all for all of it, or you can choose to just pick the packs that make your heart happy. But they are also value priced for what you get. If you want to make 40 cards easy, this is a good way to go. We have the metallic Effectz that's part of their Sizzix Effectz collection here. I think it's $7.20 for all 3 of them. Not 1, not 2, but all 3 of them. Get them now. Get them. And if you want to get them from Sizzix.com, wait until, I think, Monday they go live. Monday or Tuesday, they'll be at Sizzix.com. Then we have a couple new packs of paper from Reprint in 6x6 and 8x8. We've got their Easter collection in 6x6 and 8x8. I've got You Are Invited, which is just a lovely collection. It really is, of background papers. Oh my gosh. I've got Spring is in the Air. These are brand spanking new, just landed here. And I've got Vintage Spring. Then we have the 3 stamp sets from Hero Arts. Bless their pea-picking souls. Thank you so much, Hero and Kimberly, for repackaging these in a place where we can afford to bring them to our customers for such a reasonable price. So these were the 3 that I picked. I'll have some of the spouncers, they come in a 3-pack, but if you've got something, don't spend your money on them, really don't. And the Essentials glue pad is an important thing. All right, let's talk samples now. Okay, so let me bring over samples. So I showed you this one already, and you can see we use super thin Stacy tape, that's like 1/8 of an inch, to get that border, to do those 2 stripes. And I always do it backwards. It's got to go up a little bit and then in a little bit. That way you don't get my tummy. In a little bit more. I'd like to take a little off my tummy too, like the back end. Okay, here's my samples. Look at this. How cute is this? This is done with all the little toppers. Claire did this. Is this darling? With all the little toppers from one of the sheets in the travel. And then you just fold it on back up. You can make an accordion fold. And then tie your ribbon. And see, she's used the foil to edge around them, just to give them a little something something. I forgot to use the Sue Wilson dies. That's okay, I'm gonna leave them up there too. The Sue Wilson dies. We die cut with them. So we put the foil on Stacy tape and die cut with it. And, oh, I'm supposed to open me. Again, look at the little edges. So I'm gonna leave the Sue Wilson dies up because they've used them with the foil on Stacy tape. Happy birthday. And see the edges and different layers of the paper. And look at the chickies. And we stamped with beautiful and used the foil on the beautiful. And how elegant is this? We stamped and used the foil on the congrats. How just simple and elegant and easy and done. Just using the paper. And she added a little bit of foil here and there just to give it a little vintagey look. Oh, look at how cute is this with the gardening happy retirement. And the paper comes with it. These were all done out of this kit was done out of this card was done out of the one kit so that everything coordinates. And then look at her tag. And here she mixed the gold, the gold and the rose gold. And she added a little bit to her butterflies and her hearts. Look at that tag. Wowee. Oh, look at this tag. Oh, just because. Look at how beautiful is that. Because you're using tape or the glue pad, you could even do that with the glue pad. You can make it as big or as long as you need it for your project. Here's the Get Well Soon that I showed you earlier. It's just stunning. And the Just Because, and again, you've got the flakes going up the side and the Just Because. Are you ready? Ta-da! Cute, huh? Look at that VW bug. My family had VW bugs. Okay. Ah, so beautiful. Just that little edge. Look at that, just that little edge done with the flakes. And the Get Well Soon, done with Sue Wilson dies that we'll leave up. Oh, look at how beautiful. So Reprint made all of this paper. And there's not a yucky sheet in the bunch. I don't know that you can always say that, but there isn't. Oh, and look at this. Here they put the foil on paper, and then they used a Find It die cut. That's a Find It die cut that we just got in to cut it out. Look at that. And then I'm supposed to open it. Oh, how fab is that? And last but not least, and I'm supposed to open this one. See, I love, look at the yellows. See, that just makes my heart happy. I love the yellows. They're just, they're happy. It's a happy card. And smiles. Well, it did just that. It made me smile. All right, let me tilt up and say, well, I know it was a lot to get to the projects. I get it. I know I talk a lot. But I definitely had a teachable moment, a moment where I had to go back and think, what was my goal here? Was my goal to say, and I've got it exclusively? No, my goal was to bring you beautiful product at a beautiful price so that you can make beautiful things. And you just have to take a step back and remember why you started something and then go finish it. So I hope that's what I did today. All right, you guys, it's me, Stacy. Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Well, you'll find the flakes at Sizzix.com on Monday. The reprint paper is really hard to find here in the US, so it may just be with me, but the Stays On and the Essentials glue pad. Go see your local independent retailer. See if they've got it there, and if they do, buy it from them. And if you already have some kind of a double adhesive tape, try that first before you go out and buy something else. You never know. It may just work perfect. Okay, I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.